Hello everyone and welcome back to Floki Plays Subnautica. This is Robert aka Floki, middle-aged dad playing games in his basement after bedtime, and I've got a bit of an unusual episode today. We are on the hunt for the last fragment of the Cyclops that we need to learn how to build one, and then if we find it, we're going to see if what we need to actually make it, see what kind of progress we can make. But this is an unusual episode because I recorded this without realizing that my microphone was not properly plugged in. And so I am watching this video with you and recording a little voiceover to explain what's going on. So we found this bit of the Aurora wreckage. We can usually find some interesting blueprints in bits of wreckage like this. This one just had a door we could open up with our hands. And, oh look, a beacon fragment. We already have the beacon, but every fragment we scan that we already know yields 2 titanium. And since I am interested in expanding the base further, I will go ahead and collect titanium, although it's not exactly what we're looking for at the moment. Now this door can be opened by repairing that panel on the side, and we can see what's in here. More beacon fragments. So, yeah, kind of kicking myself that we didn't find this much sooner in the playthrough. We would have had all the beacon fragments we could ever want. Of course, we only ever needed 2. It's kind of funny that there's so many in this one bit of the wreckage. But now, I suppose, if there's nothing else new here, we can keep moving. If I remember correctly, we're looking for one more piece of the engine of the Cyclops. We have all the pieces of the bridge that we need and all the pieces of the hull, as I recall. Just getting our bearings, checking that the wreck of the Aurora is in front of us, because that's the direction we want to head. My best recollection from past games is that engine fragments can be found close to the Aurora. It just so happens that Reaper Leviathans can also be found pretty close to the Aurora, so it is a bit risky always traveling there. But the Cyclops is worth having. I don't know if I've talked about it or shown the when we found the first fragment, what the Cyclops is, but it is a large submarine, big enough that we can walk around inside, tons of storage. It's just definitely going to be worth having, and will be another kind of game-changing moment when we finally get it. I'm noticing here there's some titanium that we could drill if we really wanted to, but we don't quite need titanium so badly. We could easily fill our pockets, and there's probably other stuff we'll want to get. You can see the prawn suit inventory is full, or at least full enough that you can't fit a bit of wreckage. So yeah, just fill it up with 3 more bits of titanium so our own pockets can be a little emptier. Checking out if that's a bit of Cyclops fragment, but it doesn't look like it. Seems like we're in the right area, but so far not seeing what we're looking for. Thinking maybe we can scan a sand shark, but it disappeared into the sand, and maybe that's not a good idea. We don't have... We're not well protected outside the prawn suit, and we don't have a lot of med kits on hand, so we might do that another time. But here we have the engine fragment, which I believe is the last one we need, and now we know how to build a Cyclops. So let's, oh look, another engine fragment. In a moment, I think we will look at the blueprint, see what we need. And there it is. The 3 pieces of the Cyclops aren't things you build separately, you just need to find 3 of each, and then you can learn the main recipe. 3 plasteel, 3 enameled glass, 1 lubricant, and 1 advanced wiring kit, as well as 3 lead. So these are all things we have access to. Plasteel requires, each bit of plasteel requires 10 titanium to make an ingot, and then 2 lithium. The enameled glass requires 1 piece of glass, which requires 2 quartz each, and 1 stalker tooth. And I believe we have all 3 stalker teeth back at the base, so we probably just want to get 3 quartz. The advanced wiring kit requires a copper wire, so it would be good to get 2 copper on the way back to the base as well. We may not be able to find everything we need on our way back, but oh, there's a Reaper Leviathan. And there's our prawn suit. And the Reaper Leviathan has taken hold of our prawn suit. And there's a sand shark. Now this is a scary moment because while the Reaper Leviathan is not attacking us, it could potentially destroy our prawn suit, which would set us back quite a ways. And it looks like the Reaper Leviathan has swum away, so let's see if we can recover our prawn suit. It seems to have vanished, so let's try to get in and get out of here. Amazingly, that only took 30 points off of the hull integrity, so our prawn suit is a tough cookie, and it lives to walk another day. But yeah, we're just trying to get out of this area now, trying to see if there's anything worth grabbing as we pass through, but just making sure the Reaper is not following us. The scanner room is something we already know, so we're not going to scan that. We are, however, still looking for copper. Oh, got a biter to the face. Let's get away from that. That was a sandstone deposit, but we're looking for the limestone. And there is some over here. So if we can find 2 copper, that's all we need. So that was 1, plus some titanium. Can we find 1 more? Got lots of tasty little fishies, but there it is. There's limestone, and we got that copper. So that should be it for the advanced wiring kit as far as copper. It requires a wiring kit, which needs 2 silver, and a computer chip and 1 gold, or maybe 2. I know it's 3 gold in total because the computer chip, if I remember correctly, the computer chip is 1 gold, 2 table coral, and maybe something else. I can't think of it, if there is anything else at the moment. But then the silver, now we do need a creepvine seed pod for the lubricant, and it just so happens we need to drink some water, eat some food, so that cleared up the inventory space that we need. So we got that. So seems like it's time to head back to the base, because we likely have everything that we can hold that we need. We may not have all of the lithium that we need. We may not have all of the quartz, but our pockets are getting full, so we kind of just need to go back and put the pieces together that we can, and then go out and gather the rest of whatever we need. There's a stalker over here, so it's worth kind of checking to see if there's a stalker tooth, but doesn't look like it. And I am pretty sure we have the teeth that we need, but ooh, there's a quartz. That's always handy. And it would be nice to find the rest of the quartz that we need, but it is tricky to spot. There are little salt deposits as well as quartz deposits in this red grass area. So it doesn't look like there's any more quartz to be found, although there is one there. And a friendly sand shark, just having a great time. Alright, so we're making our way slowly back to base, and the prawn suit just kind of like tripped on a rock there as it was jumping off the ledge, so it didn't make a lot of forward progress on that jump. Later on, we'll be able to get a grappling hook for the prawn suit, which will make us feel like Spider-Man. As you jump, you can grapple to anything in front of you, whether it's on a wall or a ceiling or even on the floor, and that will propel you toward whatever you've latched onto. But if you're jumping at the same time in the prawn suit, then you'll basically just get a ton of forward momentum, and this thing becomes really a dream undersea vehicle. We have found our way by chance back to that blood oil kelp canyon, but we're just going to jump over that, keep moving. Swimming through a school of boomerang fish there. Can't remember if I'm looking around for more resources at the moment. I think I'm looking around for more quartz, and there is in fact one right at the base. But our inventory's full. So, did I just not grab it? Huh. I could have sworn I picked that up, but apparently not. I think I just noticed that the prawn suit battery is extremely low, so I'm going to swap it out with the sea moth here. Since that is fully charged, we can move it around to the front of the base, where it'll be easy to pick up and go if we need to make another quick little excursion out. And while we're here, we can repair it back up to full, since it probably just like hit a fish or two and took off all that hull integrity. We can repair the prawn suit as well after it's run in with the Reaper Leviathan. It takes a longer time to repair, but that's because it is so tough. And jump up into the moon pool to get that charging. And as you can see, we have a very nice power supply in our base now. Plenty of power available. And we've got water and salt to pick up, but of course a completely full inventory too. So let's take what we have and make it into more dense objects. 10 titanium turns into 1 ingot, freeing up 9 inventory slots. The 1 seed pod takes up 4, turns into 1 lubricant, which only takes up 1. The 2 quartz turn into 1 glass. And there we have the recipe for the advanced wiring kit too. So it is, oh, the copper wire, of course, goes into the computer chip, which goes into the advanced wiring kit. So you do need 2 copper, 2 silver, 3 gold, 2 table coral. I think that's the complete raw resources you need. So we're gathering up what we have, some gold, some lithium. Looks like we got 2 quartz in there as well, which we could turn into more glass. We got to find those stalker teeth. And there are indeed 3 stalker teeth over here, as well as 2 table coral, which I believe I was remembering that we already had, so I didn't bother to look for that while we were out. So we can make that 1 plasteel now. I think we need to gather more of our titanium that we have stockpiled in the prawn suit. Making that enameled glass now. And that is all the enameled glass we need. We do not actually have the silver required for the advanced, for the wiring kit, which goes into the advanced wiring kit. So we will need to go out and find some more silver, 2 bits to be precise. And in addition to the titanium, which we may have stored in our vehicles, we only have 2 lithium on hand, so we will need to find 2 more. I'm just trying to get to the prawn suit storage in the back, but you can reach it from here, in fact. And getting the titanium we need for 1 more ingot. Not bothering to get any more because we can't hold 10 more, if I recall correctly. That was my thinking. But grabbing up that salt and water from the water filtration to since it was ready, we kind of always want the water filtration machine working, so we have as much of a supply of fresh water as possible. And here we go with 1 more plasteel ingot. So we only need 1 more of those, and we have the titanium we need, but not the lithium. So counting up 10 titanium, there it is. And maybe getting as much as we can carry to store, get it out of the prawn suit inventory. I think that's what I was thinking. Stashing the extra resources we don't need. We do have 1 silver, so we just need 1 more. And just looking through the rest of the resources, we're going to store the gel sacks. We do have a plan to make a gel sack farm, but we're just not focused on it. We would need lead for another base platform, and we're about to use all of our lead on the Cyclops, so that project will have to wait. And the prawn suit is not fully charged yet, but we will take it back out because the resources I would like to gather can be found from deposits we can drill. So we're going to use the prawn suit drill arm for the first time. We have previously found silver deposits and lithium deposits, but we've ignored them because we didn't need those resources at the time. But now we do, and now it's a perfect opportunity to gather a whole bunch of silver and lithium. Silver we don't really need often until perhaps later in the game when we're building more advanced things that seem to always require advanced wiring kits. But lithium will definitely come in handy as we're expanding our base, because any expansion we make to the base is going to lower its integrity and lithium can be used to add reinforcement panels. And maybe even, I'm trying to think, there's like special doors between, I want to call them capsules. I know what they're, between like a multi-purpose room and a hallway. You can bulkhead. You can put in a special bulkhead door. I don't know if that requires lithium too, but I would suspect it probably does. Anyway, look at all that silver that we just got from one drillable deposit. So we're going to put a bunch of that in our regular inventory to make sure there's room in the prawn suit inventory for all of the lithium we're about to gather. Keeping our eyes peeled for the Reaper Leviathan that lives around here. Not seeing it, but I believe, if I remember correctly, as I was playing, I did catch a glimpse or two of it. Maybe I just missed it now. I think I'm hearing it roar. There it is. There it is. Yeah, okay. He's around. But that one's our friend. That one would never hurt us. But it's funny, if we stay in our prawn suit, the Reaper Leviathan can't touch us unless it gets, 4 attacks in? It takes 30% off each time. So, we are heading to the mushroom trees because this is where I recall seeing lithium deposits. We could go down in the trench that's down among the mushroom trees and just grab lithium off the walls down there. But I'm specifically looking for those. There were like 2 mineable deposits right next to each other, and I have kind of a somewhat clear, somewhat fuzzy picture of where to find them. I think I'm heading in the right direction, but the ledge doesn't look quite right. Just looking all around, and maybe it's this one. Maybe it's a little farther. Maybe it's above, maybe it's below. It's hard to be certain, but as long as we're next to the mushroom trees, oh, there we go. So here's 2 mineable lithium deposits. We're gonna drill in and just collect everything we can out of one of these. I think it's always best to mine one out completely if you're gonna do it. That way you don't, I don't know, it's easier to find them when they're whole, so if you leave it kind of half drilled, or mostly drilled, it's harder to recognize when you're out looking for it. So anyway, that's my philosophy. If you're gonna drill it out, drill the whole thing. And that would be it. So, time to go back to our base, because now we have everything we need to build ourselves a Cyclops submersible. We just have to put it together. This is another instance when the grapple hook would be really great to have for the prawn suit. If you can't quite make it to a ledge, you can just grapple up higher. There is also a jump jet upgrade that maybe we can look at what that takes to build. Maybe we have what we need, or can find it. Big salt deposit there, and one of those sparkly peepers as well. Always fun. Thought I heard another Reaper Leviathan roar just then. But we're just gonna head straight back to base and not worry about that. Oh, yep, there it is. There it is. Just keep moving. Yeah, hearing reefback grumbles as well as the reaper roars. Fun little place we've set up for ourselves. Alright, now since we never fully charged the prawn suit, let's pop it back in the moon pool.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
Alright, and grab some of that lithium, just 2. This is pretty exciting times. We'll make the last, make the wiring kit, then the advanced wiring kit, and then the plasteel ingot. And now, the only other thing we actually need is the mobile vehicle bay. And we'll stash the resources we don't need at the moment. Grab some more food. Stash the silver. Just checking that everything else we have here is what we need. And now we're ready to grab that mobile vehicle bay and head up. Find a spot to deploy it.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
And this is a job for a sea moth. Heading up to the ocean surface and staying there. That is one of the few things the prawn suit cannot do. Oh, and we're hopping out of the water. I love that. Like a dolphin. Or a stingray. Have you ever seen one of those videos? A stingray just leaping out of the water out of nowhere. Alright, let's watch this thing build a Cyclops.
Be advised, the Cyclops is designed to be operated by a 3-person crew. Only experienced helmspeople should attempt to pilot this vehicle solo.
This thing is huge. Sploosh. And there it is. Ready and waiting for us. Now the way to get in is from underneath.
Welcome aboard, Captain. All systems online.
And here we are in the lower deck with all of our storage lockers. Plenty of storage space in each one. If we continue on through, we are in a vehicle bay. And then continuing on back toward the engine. If we head up the ladder, we'll be here at the engine itself, powered by 6 power cells, which thankfully we did not have to build. So these just kind of appeared magically. Got ourselves a fire extinguisher. The decoy launcher, if we are attacked by a Reaper Leviathan or some other such critter, we can launch a decoy and make our escape. Although we do have to build a decoy to launch. If we dock a sea moth or prawn suit, that's where it will be, and we can hop in and out of it there. And here's the bridge. We can check our status from this display. Got another fire extinguisher, can't have too many of those. And we've got controls for the lights inside for some mood lighting, and the floodlights outside, which you can't really tell since we're out in the open water that they're on or off. We have the helm here, and then over here we can change the name and color of our new vessel. So we are going to just go ahead and find our sea moth. Where is it? There we go. And bring it on in. Oh, I love it. All right, close that up. We can see the Seamoth is docked. We can check its status. We can access the storage. And oh, we have titanium in there as well. And we can access the upgrades. So that is really handy since you can't actually access them physically while it's docked. Now, I desperately want to pilot this sub around, but I feel like it would be bad luck to do that without naming the vessel first. And since I don't have a very good idea for a name, and this video is getting to be too long, I think it's good to end it here. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.